Well, welcome everybody. My name is Antony Hudson. I'm the headmaster of St George's Junior School, and it gives me great pleasure to welcome you to our site here in Thames Street. I've been headmaster here for nearly 17 years, and during that time huge changes have taken place, but some things stay the same. So while we've got all sorts of developments on site that we're going to be showing you around in a moment, underpinning all the extraordinary teaching that we have, the incredible facilities, is this wonderful Georgian Josephite family spirit. So welcome aboard, and I hope you enjoy your tour. Thank you. Well, we're here in my office now, and of course for all those who want to join the Georgian family, this is where the story begins. And I'm very conscious during this year of the 150th anniversary of St George's that there are incredible links with the past, with my two predecessors, Father Martin Ashcroft and Father Francis Owen, and between us we have nearly 60 years of headship. That says everything about stability and longevity, which helps the children to really appreciate the sense of heritage so that they can dig deep and know where they're coming from, and of course in the future of their own lives really go out and try and make a difference to be citizens for tomorrow's world. And as we sit here, I'm very aware of being right next to the front gate, and it always gives me great pleasure every morning to see the children running into school. And the Josephites have a wonderful phrase which is coming home to school, and I witness that every single day. In fact, this is the only school I've ever worked in. I've worked in 5 where I've seen children crying at the end of term because they don't want to go on holiday. They love it here that much. Well, we're now standing in front of the Ark, which is home to the children from lower nursery to year 2, and it makes a very important statement about the significance of these early years in a child's education so that they can discover where they want to go and who they want to be. We're now in the main nursery corridor, looking out over on the classrooms to one side and the reception outdoor learning area on the other, and that's all part of the integration of the early years that I mentioned a moment ago. But the real emphasis in the foundation stage is on creative play, learning through creative play so that the children can take the first steps in independence and taking ownership of their learning. We're now on the balcony outside the year 2 classrooms, and as you can see behind me, we're looking up towards the upper years ones. And people often ask me why we chose the name The Ark, and quite simply we held a competition and we immediately knew that it encompassed everything about feeling safe while we're embarking on a journey. We're here now in the downstairs corridor of the original building, and we found that it's the perfect setting to celebrate the story of St George's. And as the children walk through the corridors here, they're fully aware of the part that they're invited to play in their own lives and the life of the school as they move through the next few years. Well, we're now in the school chapel, which is on the first floor, and it's very much at the heart of our school and reflects our Catholic Christian Josephite heritage. And the perspective that we have is that we welcome children from every faith background and none, and that this room is used for assemblies and services and other related activities. But at the end of the day, we just want the children to know that they're completely loved by you as parents, by us as their teachers, and of course by God. So we're now in the Performing Arts Centre, and as we all know, creativity is at the heart of developing every child's imagination. And that can take place through a number of different media, through art, through play, through music, and through being on stage, through drama. And every child here at the junior school has the opportunity to perform on stage every year. And I love discovering something new about them as they do so. So you can now see behind me a small glimpse of some of our sports pitches, an astro, cricket nets and so on. And our philosophy here at the junior school is very much sport for all, but I'm very proud of the fact that we have sports specialists teaching children right from lower nursery upwards, and that we have a fine track record of being national champions in all the major sports. But we're now in Forest School, and it was always one of my greatest ambitions to have one, because being outdoors is such an integral part of a child's development. And there's something, along with the playing fields and the eco garden that we have, but there's something about Forest School which also gives them a huge sense of responsibility for the environment. Well, we're now in the library, which is just a few steps away from my office, and one of the real highlights of my week is to see each class go through and take one of the 15,000 books that we have here in stock. And I'm very aware that one of the greatest gifts we can give them is to cultivate a real sense of imagination, and that's a life skill that I hope they'll treasure forever. In a typical Year 5 classroom here, and of course academics is at the heart of the provision of any school, but particularly here at the junior school we see it as our duty to ensure that every child fulfills his or her own intellectual potential, as well as their spiritual, their emotional and their physical, so that they can feel very positive about themselves and really try and go out and make a difference to the world in which they're going to be entering in a few years' time. Well, that's the end of the tour, so thank you so much for being with me today. And I know it's not quite the same as being in person, but I hope that very soon you'll be able to come onto site and to meet me, my colleagues and the children. And as we prepare to say goodbye to our Year 6 leavers, I think it's very significant just to be aware that a third of them have been with me since they were in nursery and reception. And very significantly, when we look up the road at the college, that a third of the upper 6 leavers likewise have been at St George's since they were in nursery and reception. So that all goes to show that when we talk about the St George's community, it is something for real, and there's a great sense of continuity, and that's something which we would very much like you and your families to be part of.